Hi, I'm Don. Today we talk about choosing your color scheme. We are painting this 3D printed Ghamak miniature while we talk about sepia underpainting, the color scheme of this mini, and of course how to choose your color scheme. So watch this video as we turn this mini into this. Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my studio. Other than my very generous patrons, this channel is fueled by all these awesome brands. We start the painting with a sepia underpainting and then we'll build up the colors. We start by painting the base colors, so I'm using turquoise. And now we talk about the Triad color scheme. The easiest way to choose a color scheme is to choose your main color and then look for it like the color directly underneath it in the color wheel. That would be the complementary color of your main color. But that is not actually easy. That's a bit tricky to pull off because, like for example, red and green, it looks like Christmas. And purple and yellow looks like the Lakers. So we'll talk about what I chose here, the colors that I chose to paint this miniature, but obviously it's kind of tricky. It's easy to choose like the main color and use the complementary color to make your miniature pop, but it may be tricky because it can be corny. So it is safer to use the Triad color scheme. So what is a triad in the color wheel? For example here, our main color is orange. The direct complementary color of orange is blue. So we're not using blue. We're using the colors beside blue, the two colors on the left and on the right. So that would be blue-green, which is in this case turquoise. That's why we use turquoise and orange here. And then the other triad, the other color in that triad would be blue-violet or blue-purple. Now your triad colors are orange, blue-green, and blue-purple or blue-violet. So you have those three colors to like complement each other so that you have a very nice color scheme. The Triad color scheme has the same effect more or less of the complementary color scheme because the colors here, the turquoise and the orange, if you put them together, they kind of make each other look more vibrant. Now in the video you see I'm painting gold NMM, yellow basically, so the complementary color of gold or yellow is purple. The triad of that would be like red purple and of course blue violet or blue purple. So they have a similar like common blue violet like complementary triad color, whatever it's called. So everything like blends together really well because you're not painting another color out of your triad or totally out of your triad. The purple or the red purple will use as shadows around the feet at the latter part of the video. Also the other triad of orange, which is blue violet, same triad color of yellow, will be painted as a shade for the turquoise cloth and basically the turquoise colors. Now you see me painting like the beige colored cloth of the miniature. This is actually called the neutral color, which is doesn't really affect like the other colors on the model, but it balances out everything. It kind of breaks out or breaks down, like it breaks like the gaps in between the other colors. So it's like a blank space. It gives more focus to the orange armor and the turquoise cloth. So you need a neutral color in your color schemes. It may be black, gray, or beige. Any not too saturated or not too colorful color can be your neutral color. Now you see at this point of the video, we're just pushing the contrast by painting more highlights to the gold NMM and of course the other parts of the model like the turquoise cloak and of course the orange armor. So we're just pushing the contrast so we have more color depth and we have really nice contrast in terms of the luminosity of all the colors in one miniature. Now we're using fat glazes to soften the skin painting. Also, we're going to use 51st shade, which is lighter than ivory, and it's being applied as a fat glaze also, so that we have very subtle but very bright highlights for the bald head and some parts of the beige cloth. After a couple of passes of highlights and fat glazes to soften the transitions, we now move on to painting more shades. We are now entering the flip-flop stage. I like to call it flip-flop stage because in reality, unlike here in my videos, I try to make the videos look very linear so that it won't be confusing. But in reality, I flip-flop from painting the shades and painting the highlights until I get to the point where I really like the contrast of the miniature. Now the shades we're using here and also the shade that I use as shadow color, which is purple or red purple I think, completes the triad color scheme of this mini. So these are very dark bluish color, very dark red colors, and it adds more color depth to your mini and also it completes your overall color scheme. Now I'm using Burning Vermilion. You could use any dark red color, add a bit more medium and use it as fat glazes to add shade to the orange armor. I highly recommend that you use dark red or even red rather than red-orange, especially if you're fat glazing. Since you're using like semi-transparent paints already, it will be too subtle if you use red-orange. Now at this point, it's just a matter of pushing the contrast, adding more highlights, adding more shades, basically flip-flopping until you're happy with the painting. This is of course if you're going for a golden lemon painting standard or a display level standard. The full tutorial versions, yes, I have two videos, tutorial videos of this painting is at Patreon. So if you like the way I teach, the way I explain things, do consider being a patron because I have a ton of tutorials there. After a couple of hours of flip-flopping, the mini is finished. Now it's time to thank my awesome patrons. I have silver and bronze level patrons and of course the gold level patrons who have access to the video tutorials at Patreon. And of course, other than the gold level tier, you have the platinum level tier which has access to platinum masterclass videos which are focus videos on tutorials, and my palladium tier patrons which are my workshoppers. Now we have a triad color scheme of this Ghamak miniature. But you don't really need to use those triad colors to paint separate elements of the model. Like for example, you're painting the armor orange and the cloak turquoise or blue-green. You don't need to paint the boots like blue-violet. You can use it as a shade color. As long as you use all of those colors within your miniature, you have a very safe and very nice color scheme by using the triad method. The triad color scheme. So that's it, Pansit. I hope you like this video. Thanks guys. Bye.